In the US, another shooting has taken place. It's become so common and regular, it hardly feels like news, but it is. And the pictures are telling. The shooting happened at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, one of the oldest public universities in the United States, now the latest to make news for gun terror. America is infamous for it, and for its absurd stance that gun sales are more important than human lives. Now, a video has emerged of the students on this campus. They were seen jumping out of windows to get to safety, and their peers were hunkering down using their active shooter situation training. And that's what makes this so surreal and disturbing. The US refuses to address gun terror. It trains students to protect themselves in the event of an attack. But it won't take one basic step to prevent the said attack. That's banning guns. Here's our report.
This video came out yesterday. It's from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. What do you think the students are doing? No, they aren't bunking class. They're actually escaping a shooting on campus.
This afternoon, shortly after 1 p.m., UNC police were notified of shots being fired in Cotto Laboratories on our campus. The suspect was eventually apprehended and is now in custody. I'm grieved to report that one of our faculty members was killed in this shooting. This loss is devastating, and the shooting damages the trust and safety that we so often take for granted in our campus community.
The identity of the shooter and the victim haven't been made public. But campus police released this image of the suspect before he was caught. No details have been given about the weapon he used. The police are also looking for motive.
So at first, we thought it was like maybe a drill or something. It took us a while to realize how serious it was. And you could feel in the room, like, the more and more we realized how real it was. Like, we went from sitting there on our social media to barricading doors. It was kind of unexpected.
We were in genome sciences over there, and we were just in the middle of our astronomy class, and the projector on the screen just came up with like the Alert Carolina message that was like, there's an armed and dangerous man on campus or something like that. And we just went through the lecture like normal for a little bit, and then we kind of realized it was a pretty serious situation. So I think we'd locked the doors pretty quickly, and we were just kind of like hunkering down, just like sitting in there waiting for more information.
An alert had reportedly gone out after the first shots were heard. Some students barricaded themselves in classrooms. Others stayed in their dorms. A curfew was in place while the shooter was loose. The curfew was lifted 3 hours after the initial alert. The shooter had been caught, reportedly in an area about 10 minutes away from campus. The incident was resolved in a few hours. But that isn't the story. The story is how gun violence continues to terrorize American campuses, and Washington's inability or unwillingness to fight it. Instead, American schools and colleges are training students in what to do during a campus shooting. In US schools, there are shooter drills. The rest of the world usually just has drills for fires and other emergencies. But American children apparently need to get used to shooters as well. The list of gun terror incidents in educational institutions is a long one. In 2017, 33 people died in the Virginia Tech shooting. 2012, Sandy Hook Elementary saw 28 murdered. Last year, 22 were killed in Uvalde, Texas. Earlier this year, 4 people, including the shooter, died at the Michigan State University. The list is morbid and ever-growing. Guns have become the leading cause of death for children in the US. And instead of stopping this, instead of preventing gun violence, America's solution is apparently to teach students to hide behind desks and pray. But what happens when a child panics and forgets to follow the active shooter protocol? Would you blame them or America's unhinged gun culture and those watching silently in the corridors of power?